Actually, it's already over on my thing. Well, oh, because you said it was 59, right? Isn't it technically 59? So therefore already over? Ow. He is. Oh. I mean, Hexton just appeared, I don't know.
Still not as bad as week 7 of the tournament.
Steven.
Start the stream off right this time. I'm fairly sure there's a Surrender Flare solve that this was loosely based on. What you have to understand is that right part is the part he actually wanted to make. The left part's just, I guess I have to make a puzzle solution.
Beautiful half-tonic chain.
This is his passion project.
This is reminding me of the showcase I sent the last showcase I sent him.
So, is anyone else having a streaming issue? Because I can hear the stream. I can hear
It's working fine for me.
Game, but I can't see it. It might just be me. I can hear
I
it.
can see it.
It's
I can
good.
see the game on the Discord stream.
I heard an awful lot of clicking for an area solved. Oh, okay. All right.
Even then, your point's still valid, though.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Oh, okay. Visual's working for me again. Steven, you gotta make sure to post your thing so I can see it. If it'll even load into Discord.
Really wise.
He estimated there were 50 or 60 toads.
Is this an instruction sort of?
It looks like a low instruction solve.
Probably made the heat of the dinosaurs.
They definitely are doing a
60.
60 on
On
60.
the far side, they came to a double layer chain link fence. 12
Yeah, if only it didn't have that many tracks, and it would probably fit in the track of instructions category.
Saw dense clusters of large ferns.
That's using a few pistons instead of the ones tracks it does. Actually, why would it even use tracks? It's area. It's cycles area, so you should be using pistons instead. Yep.
Grant waited. Several seconds passed. Eyes buzzed in the air. He stood silently.
Yep.
Ellie turned him on the shoulder. Grant was away. It was largely hidden from two large dark eyes. There was 2 feet.
I almost classified the soul into
A long row of teeth ran back,
species. Interesting.
which served as ear. They had reminded him of a large lizard, or perhaps a crocodile.
Did I actually forget about the criteria of my showcase
The
though?
animal did not. Its skin was leathery with a pencil texture, basically the same coloration as the infant's, yellow-brown with darker reddish markings, like the stripes of a tiger. As Grant watched, a single line reached up very slowly to the birds beside the animal's
Yeah.
face.
Please fix.
Grant was
This one looks comparatively innocent. The Steven solves and also innocent in comparison to the cycles hell that we get into later on.
Oh no.
Bet your eyes. This is kind of clean and simple and kind of shows you how the puzzle's meant to be solved. It's quite a nice, it's a good icebreaker, actually.
Oh.
It's about now we're doubling the pace from the last salt. Things are getting quicker.
Oh.
We're grabbing the regions every 3 cycles. We're grabbing the regions every 3 cycles. Okay.
Every 3 is the fastest that you can create a single glyph of animismus. So, under the assumption you only have 1 animismus in your solution, this is close to the limit.
Animismus throughput. Just able to squeeze under 100. See, now they're grabbing the regions 1 every 2.5 cycles, I believe.
Yeah, they're still not at input speed. It's super flat here.
So nice multi-bonder. This is good for multi-bonder. Do you like it when that glyph is actually useful?
That sounds like input speed. So at least the way that I calculate it, n equals 36 here because you need 36 of each of the. So the cycles for is going to be 72 plus latency plus 1. But as soon as you're down in the 80s, I think you're hitting input speed. Maybe 1 hitch per loop.
Those look neat.
Oh, that's a cool thing with the multi-bonder there.
Not very efficient.
Ooh. Way to get full throughput.
Somebody wanted 2 disposals, they didn't get their 2 disposals.
For those of you new to cycles optimization, this is what you would call max throughput. That is, the regions are being grabbed as fast as possible. That is 1 every 2 cycles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's limited also by the Moore's handoff, which is taking 2 extra cycles just because of geometry, and they could have fixed it in track. But yeah, I think that the key insight to getting latency down once you are at maximum throughput is noticing that 6 water in the output have to come from the last 2 draws of the input. I think people see that fast solutions have track loops, and they sometimes think track loops are the way to go faster. You have to use them well, and this one uses them kind of well. But it's more that the techniques to lower latency necessarily cause you to build track loops, and not track loops on their own lower latency. It was right next to Brick Boy, and you started scrolling away.
This is a new name as far as I know. I've never seen this person's name pop up before.
Woohoo.
So if you are to use two of your inputs purely for producing vitae and mores, then your limit is the 3+1+1 latency of salting, animismissing, and bonding, which leaves you at a +3 versus theory min. So it puts you at 78. Anyone who gets under 78 is using water in more than one way per input.
Talking about animismus throughput, this would be minimum animismus latency.
Yeah, the 5-step process of salt, animismus, drop, weight, grab, bond is a 78 hard limit.
Our area is going to matter.
60 so that they get out of the way of next door unless there isn't a next door.
And about the instruction.
Bases 16 and 17 would have a conflict. Not necessarily any atoms crashing, but bases.
There's 16 and 17 moving at the same time. There would be a collision up on the triangle.
And if
Yes.
the iron needs to move in, because it needs to move the water out of the way, and then also move the moors out of the way for the next water and moors coming in.
Yeah, I was thinking about the fact that it might be possible to do this faster, but for some reason I just didn't actually think about it right. Yep. I would also like to draw your attention to the way the Vitae is moved over the other Animismus glyph.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate that arm. I think that 17 is just waggling around until it does its one action.
Yep. There's a few others that do that. I think actually there's only one other one that does that. There was more before, but then I found one area. Impressive.
Also, it's an impressively low cost. Compact boy.
Flame Haze impressed me quite a lot in the first weekly with their son as well. They're a Necrodancer old player, and so like shows up in this game also quite strong. We are
Explain to me the overlap in skill set between Necrodancer and Opus Magnum.
I refuse because I can't describe it.
Is Necrodancer
You know
hexagonal
your
by any
secrets,
chance?
Biggie.
Yes, right?
Necrodancer is a square grid.
Yeah, no, okay.
So all three of the water sources are used to build the last three waters bonding, and the yeah, this is what I had described earlier as the +2 trap. That there is a way to use. Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't really seen that the +3 was the result of doing it in 6-way. I hadn't envisioned something that is limited in a way to solution.
Yes, very interesting choice of Critelli. I can't even see the Critelli. I
It's not
see it.
that
Okay.
bad. But there's only one of those. Now it's asymmetrical. You just made a... You know, you could put the Critelli like above the Wonder.
So well done on 8th place, Chimera.
Yeah, it's cuckoo.
The way to be competitive without compromising their artistic vision. I love it. You can see how busy the glyph of disposal gets when you're not making any waste chains and building solutions this fast. It is that glyph's just going brrr.
They mentioned that they didn't have the energy to get looping, but they already had created a massive solve. It's also important to look at the second to last group of water because the difference between 77 and 70, the second to last group of water is also on its own very nearly min latency path of pawns only and 1 extra time to move.
Is that like, we call that half a waste chain?
this was the only solution to use 6 animismo splits.
There's a lot of that. Not a lot of track on this one, actually.
Yeah, in cycles area, you kind of can just figure out which arms you can turn into 2 arms and get better area. Whereas in gold, you're trying to turn multiple arms into 1, and so you usually put it on a loop.
They had a Links multi-arm, which for area secondary I thought was a rather interesting choice. Yeah, that big boy. Yeah.
That is the unstable compound bonder layout dreams. I found a solution to basically that exact same problem that's one area better than this. Just the thought. It'll show up in my solution.
Username Void beating Faindeer by exactly 1 area.
With much higher cost. So my remark on how you could do that little motif for a waste chain more quick, more area efficient, might end up being the decider. I would be surprised if waste chains don't happen. It's hard with 3 different animismus glyphs on different edges of the product to come out ahead moving things all the way to disposal.
But I might have forgotten to update the instruction count.
Yeah, I was looking forward to a battle with Grimmy and cede the victory to them. I'll take second. We both had 106. They mentioned similar. Yeah, I worked on a bonder layout that would permit flying in across the product on one of the thirds and the other 2 to be very compactly built. So that at least made a bunch of the decisions for me. And yeah, what I was mentioning regarding find you, the waste chain right here is being held in 3 places that it wouldn't have been in the steady state. And the piston just sneaks into the middle and doesn't need to be anywhere. So that saved me a couple area.
Yeah, I explored that in my solution, but the ARM layout doesn't allow it.
I could see that being, a difference with what's around it. So yeah, this had a progression down from 120-ish down to 106. This is GNU flavors of waste management. Think of that as their kind. I'm sure Grimy also is very experienced with it. Listen. The fact that there's a 3-arm doing so much work is smart. I think the thirds that are used in Grimy solution are better than the thirds being used in certainly cheaper.
Yes. I did it. It was me.
Just magic. What's even happening? Oh, it has many inputs.
So using Fazone or any other text like solution editor, you create duplicates of an input glyph. So in the file you'll see it's like input glyph, this position, rotation, whatever, index : 0. Well, if you just copy that whole thing and paste it a bunch of times, then you can have duplicate input glyphs, but it has to be like from the set of inputs you have. If you
where I've tried that and it deletes.
Yeah, because it's the same undo trick with the yep, it's the same as the quantum tracks.
That we needed.
It's the same as quantum tracks.
Yeah, okay.
Huh. Yep.
Right, I think my showcase is done. Ooh. Yep, it's there.
But also part of it is that I never really thought to hit undo because I never thought a programmer would create an undo snapshot before running their validation script, and Zach didn't think that happened either.
Probably some cycle save somewhere. Okay. I don't know if you want to like check. I don't know if you want to like go check out my first showcase before you do that. It's quite big. Blue anesthetic. I mean, the train one is more funny if you're in a small window. The train one is more funny if it's small. Yes, that's the second one I sent. And then the blue and then the in square brackets utopia and then blue anesthetic. It does. Yeah, I made the wrong one pink. Totally not intentional. Yes.
You peel it.
Is he not here? Oh, I guess it's like it's like oh. Yep. Actually. I mean, first you have to build the train, right? We can't take the train apart while we build it. That would be frivolous. It has to be assembled fully first. Yes. Yes. It does not loop. It would have been super messy to make it loop because like all the track loops get desynced. Because there's a free track loop.
It reminds me of a post from Peen Locket that I think is still a capable time on the Reddit. The fastest gun in the West, where you preload all of the pieces and then you just
Exactly. Yep.
Zoom in. Enhance.
Wait, that's 30. Oh no. 20. I thought it said 35 there for a second. Yeah, it is possible. I can tell you already that I may or may not have done better than that. Yeah. Yeah, funnily enough, it's not in the middle. So I heard people said area was trivial, but I sort of had a different experience with that. But we'll see. Yeah. Yep. But this has again a bunch of swing space. That's just not marked. Otherwise it would be min area. Like, actually otherwise it would be like very good. if it didn't have swing space. But that's also impossible. Yeah, if you just ignore the fact that it has to move the product ever, it is min area, but like it has to move the product. Yeah. Yeah, with the yeah, that's a very interesting way of doing this. Don't quite see how that like necessarily would save on area though. It's just an interesting thing it does, I guess. Like in some situations, pre-building can save on area, but I don't think this is one of them. I already see one space where there could have potentially been an area save, but I don't know if the product would crash into the iron if it was moved up one tile. Oh yeah, I think it would. Yeah, it crashes into there. That's slightly unfortunate. That the iron can't be there. Yeah. Usually when I make like an area solve for a big product, I actually start out by rotating the thing. So I just make myself a puzzle that has the product in it as an input, and then just try and see what the most efficient way to rotate it is, and then I base the rest of the layout around that. I mean, I'm pretty sure the optimal pivoting point would be like one of the center in this case. Like mine. See if you see the first instance of it pivoting not in the center. I mean, faster is faster, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. They still didn't find the optimal pivot. Which you would think it would be in the center, and but it isn't. Yeah, like if this wasn't like a hexagonal grid or something like that, the logical place where it takes up the least space to rotate the thing is the center, because it's almost a circle. But due to the way this grid works, it just can't work like that. I don't know what that is. Does it ever get used? Oh, it does. I guess that's a cycle save thing. Probably. Yeah, they probably just put that there because Antu didn't have anything to do and it would be faster to get it from there than from the input. Or like, I think to save a few cycles on the last output. This is 6T, right? I mean... That is...
I think my stream returned. Oh, thank God. My stream finally returned. It only took 15 minutes, but okay.
Yeah, again unmarked rotations. Like, them not being marked always makes me think that whoever made the solution didn't actually think about them. The rotations not being marked always like makes me assume that whoever made the solution didn't think about the rotations. Yeah, they're just like... Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, maybe there was some consideration, but apparently they didn't. They just didn't mark it. Actually, no, it doesn't. It doesn't put it back. It just puts it on the. It just rotates on the bonder. It just rotates before it pushes it back. I don't think that's like I don't know if that's actually meant like a decision consciously made or just something that happened. Because it's where it bonds, where it rotates. If you see that, like. Ah, neat.
Also, congratulations on top 10.
Already. I'm su- I'm surprised that there isn't like more minimum area slows in the top 10. Yeah, I guess this puzzle is yeah.
Possibly influenced
Yeah,
by
I
one of
would
the
call
people.
area.
I mean, cycle slows are more fun to look at.
Less trivial to this puzzle than the minimum.
Yeah. Yep. Getting the spring space over the disposal as much as possible is another very important thing. Like getting as much overlap of the spring space and the disposal. Yep.
Only one piston arm, interestingly.
Yep.
Seems like a fairly intuitive approach to area optimizing this puzzle, actually.
Yep. Definitely a lot more. Yep. Maybe the Critelli is probably involved as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, if they use the same method as the others did, then they could rotate it entirely inside the height of the product thing.
I can't check the feeling that wasn't necessary, but I can't prove that it wasn't necessary.
Actually, but if you swing it like that, it's gonna like cover some area outside that. Yeah. I don't think that would actually work. Yeah. Yeah, no, if you pivot with arm 2, you have like a stick that reaches up to the edge and then you rotate around the center. Like, if you pivot with arm 2, it's gonna like go outside. Unless you pivot with arm 2 in a weird way.
Maybe he just used that extra hex on purpose so he could improve his Crytelli. These are important considerations.
It is a nice Crotale, yeah. Why did I actually put my Crotale before I messed it up? Okay, no, my Crotale is fine. In the mind, just comparing all of this to myself, and I want to say some things, but I don't want to say some things. I guess I just shouldn't say some things. Like, yep. Interesting place to store things. Wonder if that storing that over there actually just wasted that one hex. Like, does it ever get used again? It swings over it. Yeah. Oh, it rotates around the center again. It rotates around the center. This might be the smartest solution to do that.
Yeah, this is as low as you can get with center rotation. I actually didn't think about rotating anywhere else. Yeah, so this is minimum with that approach, but obviously not minimum overall. Yeah, and the store on the side is just for cycles.
Area. I guess next up we have 35 then, or do those not exist? Yep. I would be surprised if we see one now that doesn't actually have optimal pivots. Yep. That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's using two bonders like that is similar to what I was trying to do, but they just they did better with utilizing space around the output and having more stuff overlap the disposal glyph.
Dairy, schmeckin' dairy.
A lot of was pre-production. I'm surprised by the amount of pre-building on the Moors there. Like, I wonder why it needs to do that. Does it just like block off the animismos with the output?
I'm guessing that's what happens.
Huh. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can always free up the animismos by just moving the output on the output left. So. Yeah.
Probably part of the reason it takes 3,000 odd cycles, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was faster without doing all that pre-building. Instead of just like just building all the Moors when it's necessary.
Didn't matter, because
Interesting. Yeah, it's a cycle consideration. Mostly. Yeah. Nice. It's... Did you try it without the pre-building as well, or did you just like do the pre-building? Yeah. So you just assumed that it would be faster? Ah. Interesting. Takes it a while. Using that opportunity there to get rid of the VJ with Arm 2 while Arm 1 is doing something. Pretty elegant. Yeah.
does have a nice, easy to work with pivot, though.
Oh. I'm gonna be interested in seeing how the other people did faster. Also, the title of this thing is Sorry About the Iron Shortage. Yes, the iron. It is titled Sorry About the Iron Shortage for a reason. I think it uses about five times as much iron as it should. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I haven't seen the solutions,
It
but
seems like I
I'm
always
not sure
make
if anyone
cross
else
area
does
layouts,
this.
no matter what. Like, if I make an area layout for like, I think the last time I did one as well, it was like it had like completely unnecessarily had like two indirect glyphs which required like really weird assembly. I don't know why. I just seem to like find weird layouts first and then never find like the actually like easy obvious ones. Yep. It is the first one with suppression.
I was trying to work on a minimum area solve myself, and mine would have used input suppression, but I could never be bothered to finish it. I was trying to see if I can get a 33, but I couldn't. His name Void with 2 top 3 finishes this week, I think. Yeah.
Something I
Showing.
forgot to mention about my area solve is there isn't a single equilibrium on mine. It's all either track or glyphs. Yeah.
Oh, I like that placement.
Yep. It's
I like
very
where
similar to that solution,
Arm 2 is
actually.
placed.
I mean, it's just opportunistic pivot. Whatever is the fastest you can do without exceeding the area, right?
Like,
Mine also does some very
brings
interesting
the-
pivots
yeah.
in the beginning.
You can tell it like brings the product down so it can be pivoted over the glyph of disposal. It stops any extra area from being used. It's quite nice actually. I like the placement of the arm too. I think it's a very useful arm without a track on it. Mm. Three arms.
Yeah, I was considering suppressing the water on mine, but it would have made the water way more inconveniently located. Yep. A lot of shuffling around. Yeah. I guess the third arm allows it to shuffle around more.
That's one way to get the cycle count down. Just add
Yeah.
another arm.
Let's just find the space to fit another arm in there.
I'm curious if it's necessary to dispose of one water.
It
And
does.
I don't know if it has the room to store it with all the moors being around. Yeah, that water there. That last water. Yeah. I don't see a place where it could actually go where Amphi could reach it. Because Amphi would need to put it somewhere. Like, because
Yeah, you
all of
could just
Amphi's
switch
tiles
in the
are just
Moors
used.
earlier instead of the last water. And then-
It's just you could use the extra water and like 6T the whole thing and just use it for the next one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like, that's the only way you can really use it. Use it for the next one because you can't bond it without getting another water out. I mean, yeah.
That even
I
save
still don't. I
cycles or
still don't
lose
even see a
cycles?
place to put it though. So I don't know. Like, I don't see a place where it could actually go. Yeah, but I don't see a place where any arm could reach over the disposal glyph where where that isn't used to get the Moors in place. Like, if you look at the way the
Yeah.
Moors is moved there, actually there might be no, there isn't. No, there isn't the space to put it because the product would rotate over it. Yeah.
Turns out it was not shitty. Turns out Shadow Cluster's pretty good at this area thing. Who'd have thunk it?
Very interesting order on the assembly of the wheel. The first wheel. Yeah.
I like that pivot though. Nice pivot though. May not be fancy, but that's a very economic pivot he's got going actually.
He produces one more because the glyph gets covered up. Actually, no, it always makes two Moors. Yeah, it makes the Moors in groups of two. Save cycles. Nice.
I would be curious to hear Shadow Cluster's thoughts on a 33 area solve for this. Because I didn't like, because I tried and I couldn't get it, but I didn't like, I couldn't rule it out either.
It's not savable because of the. No. It's you can't save it either way because of the disposal. You can't reach it otherwise. Yeah, the disposal has an access point, and you need that access point, otherwise the disposal is useless. And I don't think you can fit 36 Vita in the thing. Yes. Yeah, that's actually like funny enough, like in my one, the only access point on the disposal is on a track that's like in the corner of the product. Like on mine, the like free track that like goes inside the product, like inside the corner of the product. That one spot in the product is the only place where you can reach the center of the disposal at full length. Which is probably something that slows it down a lot because of that. And there's also a bunch of like moving vitae around that slows it down. Ah.
you guys see Mr. Puzzle's overlap cycles for this puzzle? Okay, I couldn't tell if you saw it on stream because that was when I dropped out, but I saw the GIF and that was very amusing.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I think this is actually the reason for the item shortage. I guess it was
What a
relatively
waste,
was my
SMH.
fault.
Our arm one doesn't even care about the iron. It can just move right over that hex, no problem. You don't need that hex, right?
How does it? How does it end up bonding then? Does that one just grab it?
There's one bonder bottom left, which is above the disposal. All other bonders are below, so that bonder stops it from getting disposed and then bonds it to all the others.
Ah. Oh yeah. I see. That's why that one.
You would need to know things about, like, glyph priority and way the cycles themselves are calculated to actually understand this kind of solve.
Yep. It's definitely making a lot of smoke. Yeah. It's kind of annoying how you can't see half the thing because of the disposal being active. Yeah. It just like comes out there. It doesn't even exist. It doesn't even get to exist, it just immediately gets destroyed. I also like that unbonder I use at the top. There's an unbonder at the top, which runs to one of the waters over.
Congratulations for making the least environmentally friendly solve of the week.
Yes!
That smoke can't be good for the atmosphere.
Yeah, it can't.
Aerosolized iron, my favorite.
Goodbye Galaxy. Did you show Goodbye Galaxy some? Ah, damn it. Oh, I have to watch the VOD then.
Yep.
Okay, alright. I would appreciate that. Solve.
What is like your all personal favorite serve of this? Just wondering. Just like of the showcase ones, I guess. If you saw all of them. Yeah, you could maybe just slide the product at the end or something. Or that would also cost arm or track, depending on what you use.
I'm happy I got to see my son solve.
Oh yeah, technically read the next one.
Well,
Ooh.
shown is a fourth iron.
Mildly cursed.
I'm happy to still give her full credit for the puzzle, even though we kind of. The inputs went through a lot of.
Okay, right now I'm already wondering if you can do this thing in 3i, just ignoring all the other metrics. I don't know if that can be talked about. I don't know if that can be talked about, but this might be possible as a free instruction solve.
I believe it.
What
I mean, there's a
kind
lot of
of
ways.
monster makes that first metric?
No, it
Why?
not the first metric. It isn't the first metric. I'm just thinking about doing it. Oh.
Yes, I am talking about arms plus 2 times cycles. What monster?
Cycles, but it's for cost mains.
Cycles, but it's not right.
If it was just cycles times arm usage, then yeah. Then it would be for cost mains.
This is cycles times height all over again. It's going to be so hard to figure out what's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Just makes a one arm cost solve, but actually one arm solve with a bunch of track. Yeah.
Thanks for the stream.
Yeah.